Welcome and thank you for joining me for this unusual and exciting collective reading here at Sovereign Soul Insights. If you're new, thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me that you would be willing to share some space and time together and dig a little deeper into some kind of intense subjects because I feel like I do some deeper readings. And if you're returning, thank you so much for being here again. So I was thinking I was going to do a completely different reading and messing with some oracle cards, and one came out for the mugwort, and it's the line said between dreams, but then all of a sudden I heard in my head for the dream walker, and I was like, okay, we're going to sit down and record something. And then I went ahead and shuffled and pulled an oracle deck from the alchemy deck to get through, and it was the despicable face. Despicable. Sorry, one of those days. So this was interesting because this is telling me this is about facing something that you really haven't wanted to. And I do believe our dream state can be all kinds of things. And I have a feeling this might be a Dreamwalker series. I've actually got chills right now because I believe that in that sort of space, there's a lot of breadth, whether it's you do a lot of lucid dreaming, astral travel, some of that all feels very similar. But today, with a despicable face, there's something that needs to be looked at. That's why it's kind of rearing its head through these dreams. And that makes me wonder too, maybe you are starting to more lucid dream because it's like playing out with something that's been bugging you. But with the eyes, it feels like you feel watched. So I don't know if this is something you have felt in those dreams or other people around you, they're just paying attention to you. This feels more like the perception is ominous and not the actual intention. Because all these different eyes, it's like it's all about our perception and what we think the expression of those eyes is. So let's go ahead and pull some cards to get a little more clarity around this. Actually, I'm going to put this back in the middle. I want to build around it. I actually want to get into all these faces, I think. The Acolyte, new projects and learning. This feels like truly who you are because this is new space right now. This idea of how to lucid dream or how to interact with these different things, how to do shadow work even, like it's another layer of that. Let's look at who you're becoming. The aspirant, ambition, diligence. That's really cool. So you're going to get a lot more focused on what this work is. You see there's something, man, keys keep coming up when I tune into this and try to do this for you a couple times. You want to get that key. You know there's something bigger to unlock. So this is interesting. It almost feels like it's meant to be two sides, like two choices. So we have the orator with communication and confidence. And then we also have the scholar with investigation and research. It's like two sides of the same person, but they show up one at a time. Why? The Queen of Pentacles. There's a strategic move in this. Like a strategic move that has to do with almost burnout. Because the Queen of Pentacles, it's Capricorn energy. So it's very earthy, very practical. And, you know, like the goat trying to get up the mountain, you know, there's going to be certain steps and movement and pause. Walk up and pause. Part of it is because some of these energies, one is more outer focused and one is more inner focused. And so that's a way to protect your own energy. All right, so which expression are you showing up in that you're afraid of? We got the miser. Stubbornness and inflexibility. That's really interesting. What was the catalyst? Because these are quite different. To go from being stubborn to you said, okay, I'm going to try something new. You said I would be a student. The Ten of Wands. Overburdened. There's something about your stubbornness that was causing you to take on all the weight for everybody. Not just your own, but for everybody. And you realized it's time for that to stop. All that inflexibility is doing is causing me distress, causing me overwhelm. burnout. And that's why now you know, kind of moving forward, one face at a time, so to speak, and how you present to the world, or whether you are focused on presenting to the world or the internal work. All right. How do other people see you right now? The patron, mentorship, and finances. God, we've got more keys. So there's really something, the Hierophant card keeps coming to mind because of this. And what you're missing is strategy with the Archer. Very intentional movements. This feels like it's related to the mentorship idea of who you're willing to take advice from. You know, biding your time. You don't have to rush into this. Capricorn energy. It's very steady. Polar opposite of, I mean, it's not polar opposite, but as someone who has Aries and Capricorn in their chart, they can feel opposite in ways. They're not, but they have that feeling sometimes. So it is this idea of slow down, be strategic, don't get fiery about it, and don't rush the process. So let's see, we looked at the catalyst for the miser energy and why you got to this learning. So what's going on right now? The King of Pentacles. And now we've got more of a Taurus energy here. So this is making me think of comforts and home life. Almost learning the practicality of comfort and enjoyment in the home. There's something about that that's breaking you out of this inflexible, stubborn energy. Pentacles are very earthy, but then Taurus is very Venusian. So you've got this blend of, there is a practical side to the beauty and to looking at the world with a little bit more wonder. All right, the keys. Let's go back to the keys. Let's look at where your ambitions should be focused. Ooh, the Devil. Breaking through the chains you've set for yourself. What are those? This is like vices. Interesting with the Sun. Worldly ambitions. I don't know why this is coming through this way, but the Sun is making me think of things that the rest of the world sees as being super beneficial or, you know, glorious and abundant. But the fact that then there's this like orb with a totally different world going about it, that's the world that they're seeing. And really, there's another world of the ether out here that can have so much growth. All right, let's look at this mentorship card, because that's how the world sees you. There's something different in the keys too. It's like the one you're ambitious to. Which one does the world, what does the world think you have a key to? The Hanged One, a new perspective. That's really cool because you did just sort of shift. You had this big shift by moving away from the miser. I've never noticed that these look like they're going through the hands. It's a little graphic. Yeah, because I kept feeling like, but you're also still in a place of looking for a mentor. So let's get cards on that. The Six of Cups, nostalgia, is that you might have had a mentor in the past, so you're missing that relationship. You miss being the mentoree, not the mentor. For a little while, you're supposed to be your own mentor. Two of Cups, divine union, but I really think of this as the balance of the masculine and the feminine within. So for a little while, you should be your own mentor in this phase. Why? Why be your own mentor right now? Because it doesn't feel like... the Five of Cups. You're going to be focused back on the loss still. You're still like hung up on the old mentor. Interesting. And the mentor can't be in the dream state with you. That's why you're supposed to do it for yourself for a little while. So let's look at when you will be ready for a new mentor. The Nine of Wands and the Nine of Swords. Ooh. We're running out of space a little bit, but not at all the Nine of Swords meaning. Well, it's like when you've been able to cut through your own fears and unify your energy. Again, we've got this weaving thing that's happening a little bit. There's something about you have to be solid in yourself first before someone else's ideas are coming in. Because then the Nine of Wands, this is like a fighter card, protector for other people. Your mentor is going to be on another level, so you've got to first get to there, because this isn't a mentor that's going to baby you and teach you the basics. You've done that for yourself, or you're going to be doing that for yourself. Okay, so let's look at what other opportunity there is in these dream states. Navigation. Really cool card. Is there anything specific you're navigating? No. This new journey. Okay. The cards are starting to come back. Your guidance is starting to kind of circle back a little bit on this is new. And the whole point of the dream state is for you navigating these different roles and these different faces, other people's perceptions, and the role you currently are, what you used to be, where you are, where you're headed. And I think the practicality of, like, playing out the practicality of balancing your energy so you don't go into burnout. Page of Cups. It's an opportunity to come at this too with a little bit more of a childlike wonder and to be playful with it. It's not that there aren't repercussions, but there's a little bit more freedom and lax in this space. It's like your old energies. It's easier to detach from your old energies and not let it come back. Oh, wow, the Death card again and the High Priestess. Oh, no, not again. You had the Devil and then Death. For a long time, you've been cut off from some sort of inner wisdom, some sort of spiritual wisdom. I like that this card does keep the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith idea that she's holding on to what is the Torah, so some sort of spiritual knowledge, regardless of what you follow or practice. Like, it's symbolic. And that's funny because kind of introducing this, wasn't I? Maybe that was another reading today, where I was talking about really connecting with your gnosis, that inner knowledge, inner wisdom. That feels like it's been cut off. That's part of this. Again, you're your own mentor right now. Let's get one more card of advice just for moving forward, because it feels like this, whatever this dream state has been, it's going to kind of keep going on. Dream Walker. Oh, well, at the bottom of the deck, cast away negativity. So really focus on your space feeling like your space. But what other advice? Ooh, that flew out. Change. Be willing to make changes when they're needed. Interesting. You might need to be a little bit of a chameleon right now. You have the capacity with all these things, but you might need to sort of, and it's not about hiding so much as it's like the ability to then study because you blend in. All right, well, I hope this was helpful. It feels vague to me in a lot of ways, but we are talking dream state. There was a lot here. I do feel like this could end up being some sort of series. We'll see. If you like that idea, please let me know. I'm also curious to know, what about the dream state? Like, when you hear for the dream walker, what does that say for you? Like, I think I said at the beginning, to me that can have a lot of different meanings. We all experience such different things. We have the capacity to experience such different things. So please, I'd appreciate some engagement to just understand what that means to you, and maybe we can do some readings that are specific to those aspects. I don't know. This feels exciting. This has me really excited. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you in the next reading.